There's no greater opportunity out here. We're a cloud-based company operating in the technology, bringing technology and innovation to the energy space, turning it on its head like never before. And, being at the ground floor, what the timing I wanted to talk about was this. You've heard me say this, and I don't want to be repetitive either, but sometimes we have to be. Many of us that have been with the company since the beginning, we like to say, been hacking through the weeds with machetes for the last 3 years. Think Energy was officially launched 3 years ago, January. So this month is our 3 year anniversary. So if you didn't know that, I'm telling you, when I say they launched, we were able to start enrolling energy advisors, and then they launched where we can start enrolling customers in February of 23 outside of Texas. So that's how early in the game we are here. All right. So where I was going to go with this is I look back at the many people on here were in the energy space in previous companies without mentioning any names. I just want to talk about this for a minute. And I don't know about any of you, but for myself, I always felt like I put in a lot of work, and I was like, I wonder if I would be where they were at if I were in at the beginning. Has anybody ever asked themselves that question? So it's not just about being in at the beginning. It's not just about that. There's many people that have been in at the beginning who never did anything. But I look back at these companies, specifically in the energy space, is what I'm referring to. And I know for a fact a lot of the leaders and a lot of not just one, multiple energy companies that are out there or were out there, the top leaders in those companies, earn their stripes, if you will, in the telecom industry and network marketing. And they were mid-level people, okay? But when they recognized that they were in at the beginning of something special, they made a decision for themselves that I'm going to the top. I'm going to be number one. If they can do it, I can do it. And they had that mindset. And I did very well with my last company. I wasn't the top earner by any stretch, but I did make millions of dollars, okay? And it changed my life. And I would ask myself that question often if I was in the position that the leaders above me in that company were when they came in, would I be where they're at? So where I'm going with this is 3 years now we're in. Wherever you're at, whatever rank you're at, congratulations to all of you because you're ahead of the game. But where I'm going is this is the beginning. When I met Michael Falquist for the first time, I had the privilege of going to Connecticut. They called, I don't know, 40 leaders in the industry up to Connecticut to go over what was happening. Mike and Andy were with me. That's really where we started getting to know each other and very grateful for that. But, you know, Michael was all excited, giddy about this technology, which honestly to me it didn't mean anything, because I had the mindset of the same old mentality of, being in the energy space. We're going to buy energy wholesale, sell it retail, and try to save people money. But that wasn't the reality of what we have our hands on here. We have this proton technology, which separates us from anybody else in the industry. So Michael's had his IT engineers working on this technology. He actually bought the technology about 7 years ago, I think, something like that. He bought this technology, and he wasn't really sure how he was going to apply it when he bought it. But here we are. We launched Think Energy. He received a $100 million capital commitment to launch this company. And, he went to the Kenny brothers because they're incredible leaders and asked them to lead the charge here. And they're the founding energy advisors with Tony Procopio. And, we couldn't ask for better founders, in my opinion. These guys, I've never seen leaders work like these guys work. And so I'm very grateful for that. The partnership we have with them and the time they put into all of our teams, it's just incredible. But Michael said to them, we can wait until the technology's ready, or we can launch the company now. And they were smart enough to say, no, we want to launch, we want to launch this company now. We want boots on the ground when the technology's ready. We want to have teams. So they said to Michael, what can you give us? And he gave us 1 year and 3 year fixed rates with no variable rates and community solar. And that's what we were working with until the technology started to launch. And I remember thinking to myself, when they announced this Think Smart thermostat program in Texas, and Michael was excited about it, and I'm thinking, what's the big deal about this smart thermostat program? And honestly, as it was launched, I know people were excited about getting an extra bonus for connecting thermostats, which was pretty cool, but honestly, I didn't understand where the technology was um, benefiting us with smart thermostats. And we have these incentive trips. And again, we're talking about the Leadership Summit, which is an incentive trip. It's not going to be a vacation trip, it's going to be a training trip. But we get insider information, if you will, when we're on these trips. So we're in Cancun, and Michael does his business overview, his PowerPoint presentation, and he's talking about the technology, and he gave us a specific example, which was the aha moment for me, where I realized how big this is what we have our hands on. And he gave us a specific day in Texas on July 30th. ERCOT, which is the Texas Energy Grid, sent out these signals saying there was going to be a price spike at 7:30 p.m. Don't hold me to the timeline, but just bear with me. And so our technology receives that signal, and they dispatched, is how they refer to it, 179 thermostats and lowered them 2 degrees an hour before that price spike, cooling down those homes a little bit more. It was a hot day, cooling them down a little bit more. And then at just prior to 7:30 p.m., the technology bumped up the thermostats 4 degrees. And over a 2 hour period, we curtailed the electricity load by 40%. Think about that. With smart thermostats, we curtailed the electricity load by 40% over a 2 hour period. Now, that was just with smart thermostats. Fast forward to our convention, we hear the news of this partnership with EcoFlow. Time Magazine Invention of the Year 2025 is the battery that we are now partnered with, and we're going to be placing in homes all over the country at some point. But obviously, we're starting in Texas, and they put a little incentive out. If you didn't catch it, every customer that you enroll in the state of Texas that qualifies for a battery, you're going to get an additional $100 more or less referral bonus, if you will, just for doing what we're already doing, saving people money on their electricity bill, right? So let's see. So the smart thermostat program is one of the reasons that we have some of the lowest rates in the state of Texas. Now, the smart thermostat program has now officially been launched in the autosave markets. Now, what does that mean for all of you? That just simply means that if you have a customer that has one of the thermostats that will connect to our technology, they are now going to benefit from that in many ways. And the biggest way is lower electricity rates as we grow. And if you didn't catch it in the video, now the 5% promotion for customers is over, but moving forward, any customer that connects their smart thermostat is guaranteed a 5% below the utility rate when they go on flow. So the things we're doing is what's going to disrupt this industry. We are a technology company, with what we have in the energy space. And when you have a solution for the biggest problem in our country, which is not enough energy in the grid, this is our internet moment, or our Amazon moment, being in at the beginning. And if you think like those people those leaders in our previous companies, those of you that were in the energy space previously, and understand that they knew they were in at the beginning of something big. Well, this is the beginning. 2026 is our year. Is it going to be your year? Are you going to the top in this thing? Ask yourself, go back to what Mike was talking about earlier. I say this a lot, but if my team did what I did, what kind of team would I have? And if you ask yourself that question, it can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing, right? Meaning that maybe you're not putting in the work. And I'm just challenging all of you going into this new year. Why not you? Why not put your head down, go out there, get the nose, grow your team, people lead by example. People will do what you do, not what you say. We've all heard that before, and it's very true. You can't tell people to go do something and you're not doing it yourself. So I challenge all of you in this new year to position yourselves in this company, which is going to be a record-breaking company. You can write that down. This will be a billion-dollar company within 3 years. Will be a multi-billion-dollar company over time. And we are all in at the beginning of this technology-based company in the energy space.